the new America.
It's time for Talon Talk with the 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade on AFN the Eagle, serving America's best.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is your Wednesday afternoon, 2:08 right now, June 10th. I'm in the studio here with Sergeant Smith from 2CAB, 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade.
2nd Nation.
Major Richards from 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade. Major Richards is the Signal Communications Officer over there, correct?
That's correct.
All right, so for all our cats who maybe don't know what that means, what exactly does a Signal Communications Officer do?
So I'm the Signal Communications Officer, as you said, for 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade, also known as the Brigade S6. My primary duties and responsibilities, of course, is to enable mission command, which is to allow the brigade commander and battalion commander, subordinate commanders to exercise command over subordinate units. This is done through our daily customer support that we provide to our users, as well as whenever we go out into the field environment, the extension of the Department of Defense information network with the use of our tactical assemblages. We do this annually with our two major exercises. We have a Key Resolve and an Ultra Freedom Guardian exercise.
Okay.
And so we enable the commanders to mission command.
Okay, and of course, I mean, warfare nowadays is not, lining up with muskets firing at a line. It's information largely.
That's correct.
And
That new domain, the cyberspace domain, a lot of daily interface with our enemies are conducted over that cyberspace domain, and a lot of folks don't know that.
Yeah, no, that's something that even I don't realize. Is that we're
Right.
daily sustaining attacks. That's
correct. Right.
So speaking of that, however, I know a couple points that you wanted to talk about today. Are basically social media, keeping our personal lives as well as our professional lives secure on the web.
That's correct. So the safest way and the best way to protect your information as far as social media is concerned.
Well, yeah, let's tease them with it right now.
That's
Let's tease them with it.
go.
We'll give them all the good info later on.
you
We'll
go.
tease them with it right now. So basically, like we said, Major Richards here is going to tell you how, because a lot of people like on Facebook will find random friend requests from random people who look super suspicious.
Right.
And that generally means that there's probably been a compromise on their social security.
Right.
So, and you single-handedly, Major Richards, are going to tell them how to be the most secure soldier on the planet.
That's correct.
Cool. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. In the meantime, this is Thompson Twins with Hold Me Now right here on AFN Osan the Eagle. That was Flo Rida and Sage the Gemini on the track GDFR going down for real. It is 2:18 right now at the studio. I am back here with Major Richards and Sergeant Smith from the 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade over at Camp Humphreys. Of course, the topic of the day is a big one, social media. I think that everyone, to some extent, even if it's just a YouTube account or a Google account, is on social media. And, of course, our enemies are going to naturally take advantage of that. So how can we protect ourselves?
So here's the deal. The safest and best way to protect your information is not to have a social media account to begin with.
I like that.
Right?
I like that a lot.
All right. However, if you must have a social media account, then there are several things that you can do in order to protect yourself and minimize your information from falling into the wrong hands. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So my first recommendation is, for those of you out there who use Facebook and Flickr to communicate with U.S. military personnel, why not use Department of Defense Mailbook? All right? So Mailbook allows you to communicate with folks, professionals, to connect with professionals to share information, and it requires CAC authentication, which makes it very, very secure.
Yeah, so that's good for, like, if you have a new soldier coming to your unit and instead of, like we were talking about, instead of,
Right.
Sending them an email and hoping that they're not on TDY, not on leave,
Right.
This is like an immediate way.
Right. So you look them up on Mailbook, and you can Mailbook them,
Yeah.
like you said, Facebook them on Mailbook. And that's secure. It's behind a firewall, and there are no issues there.
So how do you access Mailbook?
So Mailbook, you can go to AKO, you can access Mailbook, or you can get with your Signal Communications Officer within your unit, and they should be able to provide you with that link to Mailbook.
Oh, okay.
And you use your CAC card to access Mailbook.
Only the cool kids are on Mailbook.
There you go.
It is cool.
It's trending.
There you go. Trending topic. So the next thing, passwords is a big thing, right? That's like probably the hugest thing, the first line of defense for your social media sites.
That's correct. So what you can do with password is you use a very strong password to protect your accounts.
Oh, you mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 isn't as strong?
No. So some folks, a lot of folks recommend that you use a randomly generated password because it tends, it's a lot more secure. All right. The problem with randomly generated password is sometimes folks tend to forget them. So what you want to do is use something simple, but that you can easily remember, and it's pretty robust where folks can't break into your account.
Right. Okay. Solid. Okay, and then another thing too. I mean, so I don't know. Army does like the yearly trainings on information protection, and of course the big push behind those is to not give your username out to random spies, of course, but that's a little harder than it seems sometimes, because some people come off really convincing. You meet someone in like a bookstore or a coffee place, and they're like, "Hey, let me add you on Mailbook."
Right.
Well, how do you trust them? So
right.
that's
so bottom line is you should never ever give out your password to anybody. Period.
Okay, anybody.
All right. Be mindful of folks promising to get you followers, to make you famous, or make you rich. Bottom line is don't give it out. It's like your weapon system. You don't give your weapon system to somebody else. You protect your weapon system. Same thing. Protect your username and your password.
Exactly. Okay, cool. And then kind of the last thing here on the sheet that I've seen is so, say you're working on a project on the computer, and of course, as computers like to do in the middle of this huge important project, oh, hey, got to restart your computer like right now. Oh, you wanted to save your stuff? Too bad. Well, those aren't there for no reason, right? I mean, that's security. That's network security
That's
in
correct.
the play. So
and it is quite possible that you just receive an update, all right? And updates help you to keep your computer secure with the latest patches, latest update, and an antivirus update or whatever updates may be.
Okay.
So when you get those, save your information if you can, and restart your computer, all right, to remain safe.
Yeah, I know that AFN has those spots where they remind you to restart your computer daily, just to make sure, because a lot of those updates happen overnight. So it's a good idea to restart it daily.
Yeah, and don't leave your 65-page report you're writing for the commander
That's
open.
correct.
Yeah,
So
right.
That's correct. So at the end of the day, when you leave from work, don't just pull your cat card and walk away. What you want to do is restart your computer.
There it is. All right, so that's some really excellent info. Thank you, Major Richards. We'll be back right after this break with your weather, fuel, and exchange rate. Keep it locked right here on AFN Osan the Eagle. That was Ed Sheeran with Thinking Out Loud back here in the studio. It is 2:36 right now. I'm with Sergeant Smith from the 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade, as well as Major Richards. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Good. So we were kind of talking over the last couple songs about, people will download the newest, greatest app on the app market, and it'll be something completely mundane. Like there was actually a story in the news like last year about a flashlight app, legitimately, and it was found that it had a bunch of backdoor programming to where it was tracking people basically and selling their info to advertisers. And so, but people will just download apps and not even be concerned about
They won't
the permissions.
read any of it.
Right. So here's the thing with apps, all right? There are thousands of applications out there built by external developers that allow you to do an array of neat things with your accounts. However, using an app is just like giving someone access to your account, all right? And once they get access to your account, there's no telling what they can do with that. Right. So, you got to be mindful of using apps.
Yeah, because the other thing too is a lot of times apps they won't have an official developer's name. There's an app and it's like, oh, Microsoft developed this. You're like, okay, I can generally trust.
Right.
But if it's like, David Smith developed this app, who's this? But he's asking for my credit card info. Surely I can trust him.
There you go.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: hackers, they love apps, all right? Because hackers use apps to get into your account. They can do a myriad of things, with your account. All right, they gain access to your account. They get access to your personal information. They get access to your family information. So you want to stay away from those things. You definitely want to stay away from that.
Yeah, that's big. The actually our first break we did forget to mention third-party apps, but that right there is probably the easiest way for them to.
Right. For hackers. There you go.
Man, there it is right there. And phishing is a big thing through emails. You get those emails where people are like, "Oh no, I'm stuck in Tijuana and I need."
So let me jump on that. So here's how phishing works. All right. So you receive an email in your inbox, and it looks like it's from a legitimate organization, say your bank, or for someone you know. All right. The problem is it's not from a legitimate organization or from someone you know. In fact, this email could be filled with malware, which can infect your computer, and again, a backdoor to your personal information.
Yeah, that's so basically, don't trust anybody. It's kind of the easiest way. Don't have a social media account and don't trust anybody. Basically,
that's the way to stay safe. And if you just have to do it, then
just
protect yourself.
The
Be
Mailbook.
careful.
Mailbook. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back here in a little bit with more info on OPSEC on your social media. But in the meantime, Bon Jovi and Sam Smith after your newscast here on AFN Osan, the Eagle. That was Sam Smith with Like I Can. It is 2:48 here at the studio. It is our last break with Sergeant Smith. Major Richards over from the 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade here to talk about
OPSEC.
Word.
So here's the deal about OPSEC. Just like safety is everybody's responsibility, OPSEC is everyone's responsibility. All right? So what we want to do with OPSEC is we want to make sure that we protect, just like we're going to protect your information and your family information, you want to protect information about your unit movement, unit training, and the mission, information about, capabilities, weapon system capabilities. That stuff you want to protect. Because stuff like that in the enemy's hands, we can have a bad day.
Certainly. And there have been instances in the history of this war right now to where, people have accidentally said like troop movements on social media, and, CNN will pick it up and then broadcast a troop movement, and well, okay.
Yeah,
now,
they're good at that.
There you go.
So maybe something to avoid. So what are some practices? How can we engage?
So here's what we want to do. We want to stay away from future events, future training events. What you do want to do is take the opportunity to build on, to highlight the U.S. and ROC alliance. All right. So, training mission that you have done that show that partnership that we have with the ROC is growing and continues to grow. That's the stuff we want to talk about, and that's the stuff we want to share.
Yeah, certainly, for sure. Cool. And then, of course, disclosing, we were just mentioning like Memorial Day and Veterans Day and, Armed Forces Day, and insert any other day that people like to post about on social media. If you have, because I know even my mother did it. She said, oh, hey, shout out to my son who's currently here, and it's like, wait a minute, like,
Right.
I don't know who you're friends with,
Right,
so don't.
Right, and that information gets out there. You have folks who post their, home address on Facebook. Why do you want to put that on Facebook?
Yeah.
You have folks putting their telephone number on there. Why do you want to do that?
Here, ISIS,
right?
just
that
take this.
information.
Yeah.
Your families and your friends should already know that information. So there's no need to put it on Facebook.
Right.
So we just got to think OPSEC, and we just got to be secure in what we do on a daily basis.
There it is. Cool. Well, hey, we'll be back right after this break with your weather, fuel, and exchange rate right here on AFN Osan, the Eagle.